Good morning, all. In today's class, we are going to discuss about construction working principle and VA characteristics of diode. First, we have to discuss construction, and then we have to go for the working principle. And for the next section is VA characteristics of diode. So first, we have to see the construction. So before going to the construction, we have to recall some points related to the diode. So first, we have to recall the information. What is semiconductor? And what happens, the PN type, P type and N type materials are joined, and the conductor current in both direction for the diodes, and why do we use diodes and rectifiers. So these informations we should know before going to the session. So first, what is the semiconductor? Of course, anyone can recall. I think you all studied in previous classes, that is and your HSC, that is +2. Anyone can? Yes, of course, it's the material with electrical conductivity between conductor and the insulator. Very good. And what will happen if you are connecting P-type material and N-type material? Yes, of course, it's creating very good, and it is creating a depletion region. That we can say it is a junction. And the next question will be, you have to recall diode conductor in both directions. Anyone? No. Very good. So it is conducted in only one direction. And do we use diodes and rectifier? I think you all studied a, type of rectifiers in your already in our +2. Yes, of course. We can use that is application of diode is rectifier. Good. And then today we are going to discuss what is diode construction operation and type of bias condition and characteristics and applications, real world applications also, right? So first we have to see, that is now only we are saying, that is PN junction, how a PN junction is formed. That is when P-type material and the N-type material of semiconductor join, that is the junction is formed. That junction we called as the PN junction, and that is free electrons from N side diffuse into the P side and recombine with the holes. The depletion region, and we can say it is the barrier potential. And also now only we have to discuss the diode allows the current flow in only one direction. So we have to explore all the information through the diode, that is PN junction diode. We can recall it that two terminals it consists. One is anode, that we can say it is a P side, and also cathode, and we can say it is the N side also. And it is works in the unidirectional conduction. And this is the diagram of that is a symbol of diode. Here I have mentioned the anode, that is the triangle shape considered as the anode. There is a line is there that we called as the cathode. And this picture shows the real world diode is like this only. These are all that is that is graphical representation for diode symbols, and PN junction diode, how we are connecting all those things are the graphical representation. This is the real world. If you are going to the shop, if you are buying a diode, then they will be giving the diode like this only. In this, there are 3/4 of color is black and 1/4 is silver. So we have to identify the 1/4 of silver is negative, that is cathode, and 3/4 of the black is considered as the anode. So likewise, we have to identify the anode and the cathode. In your lab session, we have to use this. I'll show you in the lab. Okay. And then the conduction of diode. There are we know that there are two type of semiconductors are there. One is intrinsic semiconductor and extrinsic semiconductor. What is meant by intrinsic semiconductor? Yes, it is a pure semiconductor which consists of electrons and holes are available in the equal number. And the extrinsic semiconductor is, and along the pure semiconductor is added the impurities. It can be increase the holes or it can be increase the number of electrons. So based on the impurities, we are adding the semiconductor. If it is increasing the holes, we can say it is the p-type material. If you are adding the impurities, it can increase the holes, we can say it is the n-type material. So there are two type of impurities we are going to add with the semiconductor. One is trivalent and another one is the pentavalent. So in trivalent, there are type of material we are using. One is boron, indium, aluminum, and likewise for the pentavalent, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony. So semiconductor consists of semiconductor diode has two layers. One layer is made up of p-type and another one is n-type. So here I have to show you the diagram. That is, this is a p-type and it is the n-type, and is in the color form. That is the p-type, which consists of more number of holes, and that we called as the majority, and it is the number of few electrons are also available in the p-type material, that is called as the minority carrier, and holes called as the majority carrier. Likewise for the n-type material, there are more number of electrons are available, that we called as the majority carrier, and along with this some holes are also available, that we called as a minority carrier. So if you are joining these two materials, there is a layer junction is formed, and we can say it is the depletion region. So how can we how can it is the depletion region is formed? Because the majority from the n-type material, the electrons diffuse into the p-type material and recombined with the holes, and it is neutralized. Likewise for the p-type material, the holes are diffused into the n-type material, and p-type material is recombined with the electrons and it is neutralized. The process will be continued until there is a here there is no electrons and here there is no holes to recombine. So like the process continuously happening with based on this, the electrons are sedimented near the p-type and the holes are sedimented near the n-type. So based on this, there is a voltage and there is a barrier will be created. Here in this diagram, that is shows the depletion region, that is yellow color minus, that is electrons are formed here and the holes are formed here, that we called as the depletion with during unbiased condition. So based on this barrier only, there is no movable, it called as the immovable electrons. So we have to break down the region we are applying the bias voltage. So for the construction and we are discussed the construction, how we are joining the material, p-type material and n-type material and type of materials. And in the next session we can see the operation of diode. Thank you all.